The Buffalo Bills have been the clear third best team in the AFC the last 2 years. 2 years in a row, the AFC title game has been between Kansas City and Cincinnati. So the question is, can Buffalo go farther in the playoffs this year than they have in years past? They've got a great team. Obviously, their quarterback, Josh Allen's incredible. He's a superstar. He's amazing. He can run. He can throw. He can make any kind of throw you can imagine. He's insane. He's like kind of a demigod among quarterbacks in the NFL. But there's also a really good group around him. He's got a good offensive line, a stud left tackle, Deion Dawkins. Stephon Diggs and Gabriel Davis at receiver are reliable and awesome. Stephon Diggs is a star. They've got a really good tight end, Dawson Knox. They've also got another good tight end. They drafted Dalton Kincaid, a rookie tight end out of Utah in the first round. Dalton Kincaid was a monster at Utah, catch after catch. I watched him live once, and that could be a sneaky good addition that not a lot of people are talking about. The Bills have a really good defensive line. They've got Greg Rousseau, a former first-round pick, who he was drafted in 2021. I want to see him have a breakout year. I'm kind of waiting and waiting. They've been drafting defensive linemen early in the draft for years now. I want to see one of these guys really pop, and Greg Rousseau is a physically really gifted pass rusher, but he's learning technique and got to develop, and this year could be the year he has a breakout year. You've got Ed Oliver on the defensive line. You got depth on the defensive line, AJ Epinesa, Shaq Lawson, but the true star on the defensive line in Buffalo is Von Miller. He tore his ACL in November. He's not back yet, and I'm not sure what he's going to bring to the table, if I'm totally honest, when he's healthy. Hopefully he can be the star he once was. He's been a dominating force for years in the NFL, been an amazing pass rusher. However, he's going into year 12. 12 years in the NFL, playing a really, really physical position. He's 34 years old. He's coming off of a torn ACL late in the season last year. I'm hopeful I'm wrong. I'd love to see him, be like the best pass rusher in the NFL. Even if he's like top 10 and makes a huge impact, that would be a massive deal. I'm hopeful for him, but I'm a little concerned. I'm not sure what Von Miller is really going to bring to the table. It feels like an unknown and a question mark in Buffalo. Now, the Bills' defensive coordinator, Leslie Frazier, I guess former, but they said he's coming back next year. Regardless, Leslie Frazier is taking a year off of coaching. It's not great. They're going to miss him. He's a really, really fantastic coach on the defensive side of the football. As a result of that, Sean McDermott, their head coach, is going to be head coach and also act as the defensive coordinator. That's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things to manage. So I think it's possible Sean McDermott's going to be a little bit stretched thin this year. Although the secondary's back healthy this year. You've got Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, Tre'Davious White, and Ka'ir Elam. It's glad to see that. I'm glad to see that group fully healthy this year. And I think they're one of the best secondary groups in the NFL. It's going to be running back by committee. The number one back is James Cook, but you're also going to see Damian Harris and Latavius Murray playing. I think they're going to have a good running game this year. Here is my, I don't know if it's a question mark in Buffalo. I talked about Von Miller, what's he going to bring to the table, but, this Bills team is aging. And their Super Bowl window, I don't think it's closed yet, but, it could have already closed, but I think it's closing. It's really, they're running out of time in Buffalo to take advantage of what they got going on. In 2020, they made an AFC title game. The last 2 years, they've lost in the divisional round. It's been really disappointing. And they are at the top of the AFC with Kansas City and Cincinnati, but they've been the clear number 3 team in that pecking order. And in my opinion, it's now or never for Buffalo. And it's not great that Leslie Frazier's stepping away and taking the year off. Maybe he couldn't handle the pressure. I'm not sure what's going on. We don't really know what's going on in his personal life. It might be there's something happening there. But reality is that, and this might be controversial, but the AFC East is getting better and better. The division around Buffalo is getting better. I think that, the Patriots got a real offensive coordinator. It's year 1 with him, so I think year 2 with Mac Jones and Bill O'Brien is going to be even better next fall. Miami's got a great defensive coordinator finally. I think Tua is going to be fully healthy. The Jets added Aaron Rodgers. They're in year 1 with him. I think by year 2 with Aaron Rodgers, the Jets are going to be even better. So this is it. I think that next year is going to be actually tougher for Buffalo than this year. And on top of that, I don't know that Von Miller is going to play next year. I don't know if they're going to keep everybody together contract-wise. They've got aging players in their secondary, guys who've been hurt before. So to me, it feels like now or never for Buffalo. They got to make a Super Bowl run this year. If they don't, that's a problem. Now, the good news is I think they got better this offseason. They added pass rusher Leonard Floyd. They added a guard, Connor McGovern. They brought in Dalton Kincaid at tight end by drafting him, making them better. I think that Buffalo is going to be a better team than last year, a healthier team than last year. I have them going 12-5 this year. 12 wins, 5 losses, but I mean, you also have to acknowledge that it's not really fair to criticize what happened in Buffalo too harshly last year. They literally had a player, Damar Hamlin, die on the field, then get revived. That would throw off any football team's season. I mean, it's really hard to hold against them with injuries, with the Damar Hamlin situation would just be jarring mentally and hard to recover from emotionally. So I think Buffalo is going to be a better football team this year, a little bit better, but in a tough division. They're going to get challenged. They're going to go 12-5 this year, in my opinion. And, it's worth saying the last 9 games of the year for Buffalo are absolutely insane. It starts week 9. They play at Cincinnati. They play Cincinnati, then Denver, the Jets, at Philly, at Kansas City, Dallas, the Chargers, Pittsburgh, and then Miami. Bang, 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 bang. That's a lot of really tough games all in a row. It's a gauntlet. And so I have Buffalo going 12-5 this year, and it's frankly now or never. I think, again, your window is closing quickly on the group of guys you got together. I think eventually you're going to have to reload and rebuild stuff a little bit. So, man, it's going to be a really tough road for Buffalo this year. They've got a shot at a Super Bowl, but it is not going to be easy. They're going to be challenged by the Jets. They're going to be challenged by Miami. Their last 9 games are absolutely insane. I encourage you to look it up and see it for your own eyes on paper. You're going to go, it's a lot of really good football teams all back-to-back with no breaks in a row. So we'll see. I'm hopeful for the Bills. I have them going 12-5, but that big question is, can they go farther? Can they be more than just the number 3 team in the AFC? And unfortunately, they're at risk of being worse than that. Again, I think the Browns are better. I think the Ravens are better. The Jets are better. The Dolphins are better. The Patriots are better. The Steelers are better. It goes on and on. Denver's better. They're going to get challenged even more in the AFC. And so the window's getting, it's closing fast in Buffalo. There's better teams around them in the AFC. They have to take advantage of what's going on this year and maybe make a Super Bowl push, because if it's not now, I think it's never.